Maybe I need to back up a second. Let me show you some of my beadwork, and then I'll show you some of I'll show you my top 5 favorite books. Hi everybody, it's Chrissy the Whimsy, and I wanted to share with you some of my favorite nonfiction beadwork books. I am a artist, interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary. It's many names, but I use a lot of different mediums, and one of my favorite mediums is beadwork. So I wanted to share with you my top 5 favorite beadwork books, and I had to really think about it because I just counted and I have over 40 books on beading and beadwork related topics, among others. As you can see, this is just one of my bookcases, and I told my husband I'm not going to buy any more books this year. And I think the great thing about the love relationship dynamic that we have is he knows that I really don't want to buy any more books this year, and he knows that my love for him and our budget means that I'm really going to try my hardest not to buy any books this year, but the grace in our marriage allows him to know that I'm probably going to buy more books this year. So anyway, we'll get back to my list of the top 5 favorite beadwork books. Book number 1. This is called Break the Rules, Bead Embroidery. Maybe I need to back up a second. Let me show you some of my beadwork, and then I'll show you some of I'll show you my top 5 favorite books. Okay, so I have a couple of my pieces. This is actually one, this is actually another, but I showed this one before. This one is Mother of the Healing Waters, and this one is my interpretation of an African gray. It's a necklace. It's a pretty big one. And this is bead embroidered. And then I have my bowl up here called Catching Prayers and Calling on the River. And this was part of a collection, a series I did at Columbia City Gallery. I'll link my artist talk in the comments so you can know more about it. So yes, beadwork books. Okay. All right. My first one is Break the Rules, Bead Embroidery. The reason I really like this book is because it has some really, well, here's the back. There's the front. I think my favorite one is this little mini teacup right here. But what I like about this book is it has some very surrealistic beadwork projects to me. Like it's stuff that you're not going to expect, like the key. And then you can the book almost took a tumble. I think I may do a tumble compilation of how many times I drop things in all of my videos, but if you stick around a while, you'll get to understand there's a theme going here. Isn't that neat? So I just like how this author and artist, Diane Hyde, basically kind of uses out-of-the-box techniques for bead embroidery, and I'm sure that's why she calls it Break the Rules. My next favorite bead book is for beginners, Getting Started with Seed Beads by Dustin Wedekind. Hope I said that right. And I like this because it gives different projects, like if you want to learn how to do more bead weaving, or if you want to do bead embroidery. There's like a number of really good projects in here, materials, everything that you need to get started. So this is something I would recommend for beginners. A bit more adventurous. They tried the hobby out. I've tried out many hobbies. They steadily rotate. But if you get into this hobby and you realize, oh, this is something I really want to do, I recommend Sherry Serafini's Sensational Bead Embroidery. And as you can see, these are a little bit more complex patterns, more time involved. I think one of the biggest questions I get asked whenever I have a show or someone sees my work is, how long did it take? How long did it take for you to do that? And I can't say that I really have an answer because it takes a long time. I mean, to bead, it's kind of like a meditative practice, and for a long time I wasn't able to do it. I'm just now starting to get back into it. The next book I recommend is The Spirit of Bead Embroidery by Heidi Kumley, and I hope I'm saying her name right. I really love her work. I've always admired her work. It's gorgeous. She has other books too. The Art of Bead Embroidery. I have that one too. I have them all. It's like, no, I don't have them all. But she has some really nice designs in here for, you know, if you're, this one I love, this ring. So these are all the different books. These are the 5 I recommend. She kind of does a little bit talking about, I would say more like animal totems. And she gets into that. And she also has a section here on loom work, which is really nice. And again, if you hear some extra activity in the background of my video, my upstairs neighbor is going bowling again. That's his hobby. So those are my top 5 favorite. Oh, no, I didn't show you the 5th one. This is the 5th one. This is called Beadwork, A World Guide by Carolyn Crabtree and Pam Stellabrass. I love this one because this book is going to go through all of the beading traditions of the world, a lot of the indigenous traditions of Africa, different countries in Africa, of course the Americas. I believe it goes into, let's see, it goes into the Americas, Africa, Asia, Europe, and it does have some construction techniques as well in the back. So I think that's really nice. See that? So if you're kind of like someone who's like wants to know the history behind things like me, or is just a history buff in general and just likes to read about random facts about everything, I highly recommend this book, Beadwork, A World Guide. Okay, so those are my top 5 favorite beadwork books for Nonfiction November. Let me know what your favorite hobby is in the comments below. All right, bye.